There are over 280,000 people in the UK alone suffering from a condition known as the white knuckle syndrome. This condition is not well publicised, but affects the lives of many people and will continue to do so if nothing is done. How is this condition caused, and what's being done to prevent it? We've come to InfoLab 21 at Lancaster University to find out. White knuckle syndrome is most commonly experienced by operators of heavy machinery on construction and industrial sites. We spoke to Dr. Gert Kortum, who is currently developing ubiquitous sensor technology to tackle health and safety issues in industrial workplaces.
Operatives in the field are always required to use all types of equipment, and some of this equipment just generates a lot of vibrations, like pneumatic drills. Vibrations are important health risk because they can lead to severe disabilities, condition where people lose all the feeling in their fingers.
It is this overexposure to vibration that causes long-term and irreversible damage to nerves in the hands and arms. We wanted to know more about what was being done to prevent this overexposure to vibration from heavy machinery. In 2005, new health and safety regulations were put in place by the UK government. The Control of Vibration at Work regulations set daily limits to the heavy machine vibration that workers are allowed to be exposed to. This seems like a step in the right direction to tackling the white knuckle syndrome. But how realistic are these vibration limits, and how easy are they to comply with? These are key questions facing companies at the moment if they are to avoid hefty fines and legal action from non-compliance. The requirement to measure and control the use of machinery is a real challenge for businesses, particularly those in the construction environment. The construction workforce tends to be dispersed over multiple sites, and those who make the planning and resource decisions are usually in an office miles away from any site. The isolated and sometimes dangerous nature of these environments has also made it impossible to use any standard measuring and communication solutions.
Companies these days are trying to understand much better what is actually happening in the real world, where their assets are, where their people are, what these people do, moving towards what is called the real-time business. In the health and safety area, not much has been done yet.
So, a new solution is needed, one that can cope with the harsh environments, collect data from multiple isolated locations, and enable management to make accurate decisions. Researchers at InfoLab 21 have been working with various industry partners to develop such a solution.
By having the computing department, the management school, psychology department working closely with industrial partners, we can actually look at real-world problems that are important for companies and enterprises.
The system being developed is called NEMO and is designed to address health and safety issues in industrial workplaces. Controlling vibration exposure is the first application being used.
Well, I think NEMO is important for the department because it's an example of interdisciplinary work and work that is strongly related to real industrial need. It's taking ubiquitous computing and how computers embedded in the environment can influence work practices, and it's looking at management science and looking at it from a management perspective. I think that's something that simply has not been explored elsewhere.
NEMO stands for Networked Embedded Models and Memories of Physical Work Activities. The main objective of the NEMO project is to improve health and safety at industrial workplaces by collecting in real time information about what is actually happening at work sites. There are tiny wireless sensor devices that we attach to work objects, and that allows us to record information about the vibrations of this drill. And at the same time, we attach technology to people. So a database that might sit in the headquarters of an organization that collects all this information and allows us to analyze this information over time.
But how does this system measure a worker's vibration exposure? How does it record this data along with other workers' data? And how is it communicated back to head office? Let's find out by seeing NEMO in action. There are two NEMO devices: the NEMO badge worn by the operator and the NEMO-enabled drill. The NEMO-enabled drill monitors the start and stop times using a drilling activity detection algorithm. Vibration duration data is sent to the NEMO badge using wireless technology. The NEMO badge then calculates the total exposure levels and displays this as a progress bar. The operator is warned when the exposure limit is reached. At the end of a shift, the worker logs into the in-vehicle hardware, associating their data with their user profile. The data is sent to an office-based back-end database via GPRS, capturing a complete record of the user's usage over time. Using this data, the project team can remotely access the daily exposure rates of their whole workforce. This enables the safety compliance not just for one operator, but for the whole workforce at a site. Not just on one site, but across the whole business on multiple sites. Turning the business into a real-time and connected organization will enable the management to make accurate decisions about resources and work plans. Businesses can comply with the vibration limit regulations and achieve greater workforce welfare. This means that white knuckle syndrome can be prevented. The NEMO technology is not only aimed at preventing white knuckle syndrome, the technology can be used in other applications.
We are currently looking at other health and safety issues. For example, we're working with BP on investigating how this technology could be used to measure environmental conditions on employees on oil platforms. But this technology also has important applications for tracking of assets in the field or for planning of work activities.
This is part of an ongoing, mobile and ubiquitous computing research program at InfoLab 21. To find out more about the NEMO project, please contact the following people: